Hello everyone, this is part 10 of What If Naruto Fell in Love with Hinata in High School, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Naruto woke up earlier than usual. It was still dark outside, he got himself ready for school. Hinata and me are gonna make out before school today. We gotta find someplace where no one will watch us. Shikamaru goes to the library in the morning, so not there. Not sure the librarian will be too happy about it either. He said as he poured milk into his cereal bowl. Some kids will be walking in the hallways and I know that Hinata will be too shy to kiss in front of them. He finished up his breakfast and ran upstairs to shower. After he got out and got dressed for school, he knocked on Jiraiya's door. Gramps, I'm going to school now, alright? Isn't too early, unless you're doing something with Hinata, he. He laughed from behind the door. Whatever. He kicked the door and ran out. He looked at his watch, it was still a whole hour before school started. Maybe I did get up too early. I'll take detour today. He took a left as soon as he reached the sidewalk. He decided to walk down a few blocks and then go to school. After walking down 5 blocks, he saw a girl walking ahead of him. Isn't that Win? He muttered quietly. She was dragging her bag on floor lazily as she stumbled from side to side. Anyone could tell that she was not a morning person. Hinata got up just as early as Naruto and had been thinking about a place free of eyes to make out. Naruto is such an amazing kisser. I hope we can find some place to kiss. She packed a lunch for herself and Naruto. She looked at the clock in the kitchen. School does not start for another hour. Maybe I should wait a bit. She went to the living room and took out an old volume of the Makeout series and started reading it. After 15 minutes, Hinata put the book back in her bag and headed out the door. If I get there before Naruto, I'll take a quick look around to see where there is an empty area. When she got to the school, she saw that there were a few students hanging out in front. She took a look around to try to find a good place where no one was there. There are people by the trees, by the statue, in front of the building. Maybe the library will be empty. She walked over to the library and unfortunately there were some kids in there in the front and the back. Oh well, wait, I don't think anyone hangs out in the back of the main building before school. She ran there and when she arrived a smile came across her face, the place was deserted. Yes, she yelled and jumped up. Whoa, she stumbled a bit, I feel a bit lightheaded. Hinata ran back to the front of the school and as soon as she got there Naruto was walking through the gates. Naruto, over here. She waved her hand high in the air. Naruto turned in her direction, smiled and waved back. He walked over to her and gave her a kiss on the lips. Good morning, Hinata. You sure seem happy. He laughed. You look a bit red too. Don't tell me you still feel shy around me. Hinata's cheeks turned redder and she laughed back. I came to school early so we could find a place to make out. And sometimes I do. She said the last part quietly and looked down at the floor. Naruto chuckled. I came here to do just that too. I figured that you would not want to kiss in front of others. He put his arm around her waist. So where is the place? It's behind the main building. She was starting to get nervous again. Really? I would have thought that lot of people would hang out there. Naruto said. Lucky me they don't, huh? Hinata giggled. When they got to the back, Naruto took a look around. Not much was there. You could see the track from there and the little forest area where he had fallen asleep on the first day of school. Hey, I remember that place. I fell asleep on that tree over there on my first day, he said, making it sound like it happened years ago. I think that if I didn't, me and Shikamaru might not have been friends. I remember that place too. Hinata started to blush again, recalling when she had kissed Naruto for the first time. He was completely unaware of that fact. Well, want to, you know. Naruto said, turning back to Hinata, who just nodded her head. The two of them closed their eyes and went in for the kiss. Hey Naruto, what are you doing here? A voice called from the left of them. Naruto and Hinata turned their heads to see who it was. Sakura was standing there looking at them curiously from behind the wall. Oh, I'm sorry I interrupted something, didn't I? She sweat dropped. She walked in front of them. Well, yeah, Naruto said. There was now an awkward feeling between the three of them. So, what are you doing here, Sakura? Hinata asked, breaking the silence. I usually hang out here with Sasuke, but we broke up, so I was just going to hang out here and read a bit before school. When did you break up? Hinata gasped. Friday night. I finally realized what a jerk he is. She yelled, clearly angry. Good riddance to him. You deserve someone better than him. Naruto said in a comforting tone. Thanks. That means a lot. Sakura smiled. Someone like you. Her eyes turned to Naruto as she thought that. Ah. Well, I'll just leave you two alone then. She waved goodbye and returned to the front of the school. Well, where were we? Naruto said as he looked back at Hinata. He wrapped his arms around her waist and pulled her closer. Hinata wrapped her arms around his neck and they locked lips. Who's that over there? Hinata, is that you? Neji called as he came from the right of them. Damn it, Naruto said when he broke the kiss. Hey Neji. He slouched. Neji's narrowed his eyes onto Naruto. What were you doing to her? He sounded angry. Nothing at all. Naruto panicked. We were just kissing, right, Hinata? Yeah, we weren't doing anything inappropriate or anything like that. Hinata said, backing Naruto up. His eyes stayed on Naruto. I think that I'll just stay here then, you may continue making out. He can't possibly be serious. He of all people should know how shy Hinata is. She's your cousin, for crying out loud. I wonder something. Hey Neji, you two are cousins. Where do you live? I have my own house a few blocks down from Hinata's. Why do you care anyways? He said sternly. Geez, can't a guy just ask a question? Let's go, Hinata. Naruto said as he walked off. Way to ruin a moment. Hinata stuck her tongue out at her cousin. Excuse me for being protective. Neji growled back. Overprotective Neji. Naruto shouted back, laughing. Just you wait. Friday we fight in the stadium. He yelled, but not sure if Naruto heard what he said. End of school. Sorry I can't walk you home, Hinata. Naruto said apologetically. That's alright, just try to stay awake in class. Hinata giggled. Naruto had gotten detention for falling asleep one too many times in Kakashi's class. I can't help it that all the stories we read in that class are boring as hell. Naruto yawned. I hope he doesn't make me clean the desks or the board or anything. He said. Well, bye, see you tomorrow. He leaned over and gave Hinata a kiss goodbye. She smiled at him and waved goodbye. Naruto turned back to the school. Well, I'm here till 6. I hate this. He walked into Kakashi's classroom. Well, here I am. What do you want me to do? He said as he put his bag down on a desk. Oh, glad to see you showed up. Kakashi said as he took his nose out of a book. It seems you like to nap during class, so here is your punishment. Kakashi took out a book and tossed it over to Naruto. He caught the book and read the cover, Make Out Paradise. What do you want me to do with this? I know how much you hate these books, so you are going to stay here and read a few volumes out loud with me. Doesn't that sound fun? Even thought his face was hidden behind that mask, you could tell he was smiling. I really hate this class. Naruto thought as he opened the book to its first page. Hinata walked home alone that day. What was up with Neji? Interrupting me and Naruto. Whatever. We made out a little and that's good enough for me. She smiled as she walked down the street. It sure is getting hot now. She thought as she wiped a bit of sweat off her forehead and fanned herself. I could use some ice cream. She turned the corner, and went down the street until she reached a small shopping plaza. There is the ice cream shop. She hurried inside and felt relieved when she felt the cool air hit her face. That's more like it. The place was pretty much empty, no one sat at the 4 tables that they had. The only people that were there were the workers. She stepped up to the counter and ordered a chocolate ice cream cone with rainbow sprinkles on top. She paid the man behind the counter and sat down happily licking her ice cream. She heard the door open and a tall, Titan boy walked into the store. He had short shaggy brown hair and wore a long-sleeve white shirt with a black t-shirt over that. He wore blue jeans. He looked around the place and said, "Place is a ghost town today, huh?" He walked up to the counter, but the guy already had his order ready, a plain strawberry ice cream cone with 3 scoops. "I already know what you want." The guy laughed. "Thanks," the guy said as he paid the man. He turned around and noticed Hinata sitting at a table by herself. He walked over to her and pulled out a chair across from her. Hey, mind if I sit here? He asked, licking his ice cream. Go ahead, I guess, Hinata said, licking her ice cream. The guy stared at her for a while before finally saying, My name is Hayato, what's yours? He asked, raising an eyebrow. Hinata. She answered quickly. What does this guy want? She looked at his face and noticed that he had bright green eyes. Hinata, that's a cute name, just like your face, he said with a crooked smile. Hinata flushed with embarrassment and looked down at the table. She was starting to feel hot again. He leaned back in his chair. What are you doing here by yourself? I figure that someone like you would have a boyfriend or something. He finished the first scoop of his cone. If you want, I can be your boyfriend. He leaned forward and smiled. Hinata quickly finished the rest of her cone and stood up. I'll be going now, she said, all flustered. Oh, you're wearing Konoha uniform, he said, noticing her clothes. He stood up. I just started that school Friday. Maybe I'll be seeing you around then. He raced to the door and held it open for her. Thank you. She rushed out the door. You're welcome. He waved at her and watched her leave. He went back inside the store. Seriously, I think the only reason you bother going to this shop is to flirt with the girls. The cashier laughed. Hey, that's just one of the reasons why, he said as he finished off his cone. This place makes the best strawberry ice cream. He chuckled, then his cell phone rang. He took it out of his pocket and answered. Oh, hey area, long time no speak, he laughed. No, I didn't feel like going to school today, so I skipped. Okay, see you at your place. He hung up the phone and placed it back in his pocket. See ya tomorrow. Hinata ran back to her mansion, not even greeting the guards that saluted her. What's wrong with her? One of them said to the other, who just shrugged. She ran up to her room and dropped her bag on the floor. Why do I feel like this? That guy just comes out of nowhere and starts hitting on me. He was hitting on me, right? I can't tell. Relax, Hinata. She took a breath in and out to calm her nerves. She was feeling really weak and dizzy. Hinata lied on her bed. She got her cell phone from her side and dialed a number. The phone rang a few times before someone picked up. Hi Hinata. What's up? Sakura said. She was clearly happy. Well, I needed to ask you something. What would that be? Sakura asked. She was paying close attention. When you were dating Sasuke, you didn't like someone else, right? Hinata sniffed. What do you mean? She sounded nervous. Why would you ask something like that? When you were dating Sasuke, you didn't like someone else, right? Hinata sniffed. What do you mean? She sounded nervous. Why would you ask something like that? Sakura started to sweat bullets. Well, today after school I went to an ice cream shop. Hinata began her story. Maybe this isn't about me at all. What a relief. She let out a sigh and wiped the sweat drops from her forehead. And this guy came into the shop. He sat down in front of me and started pestering me. Anyways, he asked me if I wanted him to be my boyfriend. Hinata said. What? You already told him that you're going out with someone, right? Sakura yelled into the phone. No. Why not? Well, I was too embarrassed to say anything. Hinata yelled. Oh well, it's not like you'll see him again, right? Sakura said. Well, about that. What about that? Sakura asked. He said that he goes to our school, so there is the chance that I might run into him again. Hinata. Sakura groaned. Wait, what does this have to do with that question anyways? Hinata was quiet on her end of the phone. You like this guy? Sakura almost choked on those words. I don't know. I felt really hot around him, like I did when I first met Naruto. I just wanted to know if you felt like that when you met a new boy. Nope. Not at all. You know me, I only had eyes for Sasuke. Did she buy that? Oh, okay then. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow. Hinata closed her phone and set it aside. She rested her head on her pillow and stared at the wall. Do I really like this guy? He just came out of nowhere, like Naruto. If I take a nap, I'll forget about this whole incident. She closed her eyes and before long she had fallen asleep. A few hours later, Hanabi burst through Hinata's bedroom door. Hinata, I got it. Look. She held in her hands the newest make-out book. I had to pay a guy to but for me, but I got it. She walked over to her sister who was sleeping, her face as red as can be, and her face covered in sweat. She must be dreaming about Naruto again. She giggled. Hinata, time to wake up. She shook Hinata's shoulder. Hey, why does she feel so hot? Hanabi put her hand on Hinata's forehead and gasped, she's burning up. She dropped the book and kicked it under her bed. Dad, Hinata's sick. She ran out of her sister's room stumbling a little and searched for her father. Wait, Dad does not get home till late tonight. She called a maid and informed her of her sister's condition. The maid got a wet towel and placed on top of Hinata's forehead, then gave her some medicine to drink, that should keep her fever from going up. She let out a sigh. It's a good thing that you were here, Hanabi. If no one had checked on her, she would have gotten worse. That medicine that you gave her, that will make her better, right? Hanabi looked worried. Of course, don't worry, she'll be better by tomorrow night. The blonde-haired maid said. You were worried about her, right? You better not tell her that. Hanabi pouted. The maid let out a soft laugh and agreed not to say a word. She made Hanabi leave to do her homework in another room so she would not get sick as well. The next day, Naruto got up early once again and got ready to go to school. After he ate breakfast and showered, he got his bag and went downstairs. Jiraiya had gotten up and was eating breakfast. Going early once again, huh? Don't even say anything. Naruto warned him. Come on, Naruto. He grabbed Naruto by the end and ruffled his hair just like he used to do when he was a kid. You know that I'm just playing around. Let go. Naruto broke free and opened the front door. Oh hey, I forgot to tell you that we have a. Yeah. Naruto shut the door. He walked directly to school since he had not gotten up as early as yesterday. By the time he was in front of the school gates, his cell phone buzzed. A text. This early. He reached into his pocket and pulled out his phone. When he read the message, he let out a frown. It read, Naruto can't go to school. Got high fever. See you tomorrow. Miss you. It was from Hinata. He wrote back, hope you feel better soon. Miss you too. So she's not coming to school. I suppose I could just skip today. No, I said that I was going to change when I came to this town. I would stop picking fights left and right and actually show up to school, but what's one day? He turned around and walked back the way he came. When he was at the red light, he decided that he was going to have to ditch his bag for a while. Sakura was on her way to school and saw Naruto on the other side of the street. Where is Naruto going? It looks like he's heading home. Did her forget something? When the light turned green, the two walked across the street. Hey Naruto, where are you going? She asked him. He noticed Sakura heading his way. Oh, morning Sakura. Did you forget something at your house? She asked. They both stop in the middle of the road. No, I'm not going to school today. Hinata's out sick, so there is no point in going. I'm heading into town for the day. He said and walked past her. Wait, you can't just decide to skip school like that. She walked behind him. Sure, I can watch. He continued walking and didn't bother looking back. Get back here. She chased after him. You have Jiraiya's class today, don't you? How do you know what class one have? Naruto asked, turning around. Hinata talks to me a lot about her classes, and you have the same ones as her. She explained. He won't care much. He'll just throw a tantrum at home and get over it when I give him a dirty magazine. He yawned. He continued walking down the street. Wait, she yelled, making him stop and face her. I can join too, right? She asked, blushing. Sure. In fact, it might be better if you do. I might get lost if I go into town on my own. Naruto laughed. Sakura raced up to Naruto, and walked by his side. After spending the day with, I'll get to see if it's really just a crush, or something more. Her cheeks turned red again. So what made you change your mind? Naruto said. You were not going to be there. I remembered that I had a test today that I forgot to study for. Now I'll have an extra day to study for it. She lied. Naruto let out a small laugh and raced ahead to the park. I thought we were heading into town. Sakura said. I'm just gonna hide my bag here for a while. He said as he took something out of his bag and hid the bag behind some shrubs. Want me to hide yours too? He asked. Sakura tossed her bag and he hid it too. What did you take out? She tilted her head. Naruto took out a black headband and wrapped it around his forehead. I used to wear this all the time in my old town. Why did you wear it? Thought it made you look cool or something. Sakura giggled. Nah, all the kids in my gang, I mean, yeah. It does make me look cool, doesn't it? Naruto unbuttoned his black school jacket and rolled up the sleeves. Alright, let's head into town. He grabbed Sakura's hand and ran full speed ahead. When they got to town, it was almost 8. They saw that most of the people walking around were adults, and not many of the shops were open yet. Hey, this might be kind of a boring day. Naruto said, in my old town a lot kids would skip on a regular basis, so we would go around causing trouble or just go to a deserted place and train. You used to skip before? Sakura asked. Well, yeah. He looked at her scowling face, but not every day. He added, so until more stores open up, what do you want to do? Well, how well do you know this place? Sakura asked. Not well at all. Naruto scratched his chin. All I know are the bookstore down there and Ichiraku Ramen. I can find that place with my eyes closed. Naruto began drooling. Well, let's walk around, maybe you'll see some other shops you like and then when they open we'll come back. Sounds good to me. Naruto smiled. Sakura looked at his smiling face and looked away quickly. I can't let him see me blushing. He'll find out I like him and might not talk again. Sakura, are you getting sick too? He asked. You look a bit red. I'm fine. It's just a little hot. She laughed nervously. Let's get a move on. She led the way. Throughout most of the morning, Naruto was introduced to new shops. He went into some electronics shop, comic book store, and a few clothing shops. Most of them were for girls, which Sakura seemed to shop at a lot. At 11 o'clock they stopped at a burger shop for lunch. Sakura ordered a plain cheeseburger with fries and Saint Coke. She was watching her figure. Naruto also ordered a cheeseburger, large fries, and chocolate shake. They ate outside the restaurant under the shade of a tree. You don't eat much, do you? Naruto asked as he took a bite of his burger. Not really, I don't usually get very hungry. Sakura said and took a small sip of her soda. You should join us more often for lunch at the roof. Naruto said. Well, I'll think about it. It's more quiet, and cleaner than the cafeteria. Naruto urged her. I'll join tomorrow and make up my mind then. She said. He gave me an invitation for lunch. It's almost like a date. This is almost like a date. They ate the rest of their food in silence. Once they finished, Naruto picked up the trash and went to dump it inside the restaurant. When he got out, he saw two guys talking to Sakura. A cutie like you by yourself. One guy said, had an eye patch over his left eye and had his hair down, and was grabbing Sakura's right hand. We'll show you a good time, trust us. The other guy said, he had his red hair slicked back and was grabbing her left. Sakura looked worried and was about to scream for help. Hey, it's you guys again. What do you want with Sakura? Naruto shouted as he stomped closer to them. The two of them turned around. Not you again. The eye patch guy said. You were with another girl Friday night. What are you doing with this one? The other guy cried. You just kiss them and leave them. Sakura blushed a little. She's not my girlfriend. We're just hanging around today. Now back off before I kick your ass again. Naruto was angry. You just caught us by surprise last time. They both raised their fist into the air ready to fight. Naruto tackled the eye patch guy to the floor and punched him in the face, knocking him out. This guy is fast, the guy with red hair thought. He pulled a knife from his pocket and ran to Naruto. He threw his arm forward to him, but Naruto dodged the attack and grabbed his arm. Pulling out a weapon. In a fist fight, Naruto raised his left arm and brought his elbow down on the guy's arm. There was a snapping sound and the guy fell to the floor crying in pain. Whoa, Naruto. Sakura was left speechless. These guys tried to take Hinata Friday night. Naruto walked to Sakura. Wanna go home or continue walking around? He asked. Walk around for a while longer. Sakura looked at the guy rolling in pain. You broke his arm, Naruto. He had it coming. Naruto scoffed as they walked away. Did she say? Naruto. The guy got up, being careful not to move his arm. He took out his cell phone and called someone. Hey boss, that guy from the gang in Whirlpool, what was the leader's name? He said when the call was answered. Naruto Uzumaki, the voice said. Why? What wrong, Ryo? I thought so. We just ran into him. He broke my arm and knocked Genji out. Where did he go? The voice yelled. He's still in town. He's just walking around with this pink-haired girl. Get everyone you can to so and find him. When you call me and follow him until I get there. The voice said and then hung the phone up. Never thought that he would be in this town. I'll show him, embarrassing me and my gang. He sounds really pissed off. Just what is his deal with that guy anyways? Like he was ordered, he started calling all other members of his gang and told them to be on the lookout for a blonde-haired guy with a pink-haired girl at his side. When he had called enough people, he walked over to Genji and softly kicked awake. Wake up. We got something to do, he said. His arm was already beginning to heal. He woke up and held his face. His nose was dripping blood. What? He asked in pain. That guy that was just here, that was Naruto Uzumaki. Ryo's tone was serious. We have to gotta follow them. No way. Genji winced in pain. I gotta get to the hospital. I think that punk broke my nose. I can't heal as fast you know. Hinata's mansion. The blonde-haired maid took Hinata's temperature. Oh dear, this isn't good. Her fever has gone up again. We need to get her to a hospital. She went out to the hall and called a muscular butler that had just passed by. We need to get her to a hospital. You will have to carry her to the car. She informed him. Yes, madam. The butler saluted and walked into Hinata's room, picked her up and took her to the limousine downstairs. Hinata was twisting and turning, and had been sweating all over. Naruto. She mumbled faintly a few times. She must be hallucinating, the maid said as they drove to the hospital. She looked at her with worried eyes. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.